There is a silent force at work in the universe, a power not often praised, seldom seen, yet always present. It does not shout, it does not demand, it does not rush, but it moves mountains, turns dreams into destiny, and transforms defeat into triumph. That force, my friend, is patience. Patience is not passive, it is not weakness, it is power in its highest form, controlled, disciplined, focused. It is the mastery of self when the world screams for immediacy. The greatest empires in history, the most legendary achievements of mankind, were not built in a day nor in a week, but through the quiet, consistent application of patience. Let me ask you, how many dreams have been buried because the results didn't arrive fast enough? How many gave up a moment before success was ready to show its face? How often do we trade long-term greatness for short-term gratification? In my years of study, I have seen it time and again. Those who possessed the patience to persist, to endure, to wait with purpose, became the ones who shaped their world. They did not merely hope for change. They waited, worked, and believed, and in time life surrendered its treasures to them. You see, patience is not waiting while doing nothing. It is waiting while building, learning, preparing, knowing that what you want is on its way if you do not quit. In this video, I am going to take you deep into this timeless principle. I will share with you how patience rewires your mind for success, how it turns pressure into peace, and why those who master it will outlast, outgrow, and outperform everyone who doesn't. If you are tired of rushing, tired of disappointment, tired of watching your goals fade, then this message is for you, because patience is not the absence of action. It is the presence of purpose, and when you truly embrace it, you will discover that patience changes everything. So take a deep breath, lean in, and listen, not just with your ears, but with your soul. Your transformation begins now. There is a common misconception in the world today, one that has led many astray and robbed them of their full potential. That misconception is this: patience is weakness. We live in a world obsessed with speed, faster internet, quicker results, overnight success. Society has taught us to glorify the instant. But in that haste, we have forgotten a simple truth. The strongest individuals in history were not the fastest, but the most patient. Patience is not sitting idle, waiting for life to reward you. It is not surrender. It is not helplessness. It is, in fact, the supreme expression of self-control. It is the will to hold back your impulses, to master your emotions, and to remain steady when others panic. That, my friend, is real power. You see, anyone can react, anyone can rush, but only the strong can pause. Only the truly powerful can wait with discipline, can act with strategy, and move only when the time is right. That is what separates the average from the exceptional. Napoleon Hill once said, "Self-discipline is the master key to riches," and patience is one of its highest forms. Think of a lion in the wild. Does it chase every animal it sees? No, it waits, it studies. It conserves energy until the perfect moment to strike. That is not laziness. It is power under control. That is what patience looks like in action. When you are patient, you are saying to the universe, "I am not desperate. I am prepared. I am focused. I trust the process." And the universe responds to that kind of inner strength. Patience gives you clarity. It helps you make better decisions. It prevents you from falling into the traps of short-term gratification. Most people fail not because they lack talent, but because they lack patience. They give up too soon. They expect too much too fast, and they miss the miracles that come through steady progress. The most powerful individuals, entrepreneurs, leaders, visionaries understand this truth. Lasting success takes time. When you learn to be patient, you're not being passive, you're being intentional. You're saying, "I'm not chasing time, I'm aligning with it." That is where true transformation happens. Because when you combine patience with purpose, your actions become unstoppable. So the next time you feel frustrated, the next time you feel like quitting, remember this: patience is not weakness, it is strength at its highest level. It is the quiet confidence that greatness is not built in a day, but it is always built by those who never rush and never quit. Master patience, and you master yourself. Master yourself, and there is nothing in this world you cannot achieve. There is a universal law that governs all of creation, a law so powerful that no dream can come true without it. It is the law of time, and make no mistake, greatness obeys this law. We have been taught to believe that success should be instant, that results must come quickly, that we should rise fast and shine bright, or we are somehow failing. But this belief is not only false, it is dangerous, because nothing truly great was ever built overnight. Look at nature. A mighty oak tree starts as a tiny seed. It must be buried, unseen, in darkness. It must endure the pressure of the earth, the cold of winter, the weight of waiting, but in time, not in days, not in weeks, but in seasons, that seed becomes a towering tree. Why? Because greatness takes time. The pyramids of Egypt, the Roman Empire, the Great Wall of China, none of these were built in haste. They were built brick by brick, day by day, with vision, effort, and above all, patience. Every truly successful person you admire, whether it be an artist, a leader, or a visionary, paid their dues. They failed, they learned, they fell, and they got back up again and again. They didn't demand results overnight. They respected the process. They understood that anything worth having is worth waiting and working for. There is no shortcut to mastery. There is no elevator to the top. You must take the stairs. Each step forward, no matter how small, is progress. And those who persist, even when results seem slow, are the ones who eventually stand on the summit of their dreams. Think of Thomas Edison. He failed over 1,000 times before creating the light bulb. When asked why he didn't give up, he said, "I have not failed. I've just found 1,000 ways that won't work." That is the mindset of someone who knows that greatness is a journey, not a destination. Patience with action creates momentum, and momentum over time leads to mastery. But rush the process, and you break the foundation. Demand too much too soon, and your vision crumbles before it can take form. So the next time you feel discouraged by how long it's taking, remind yourself you're not behind. You're becoming. You're growing roots that will one day support your rise. Never compare your timeline to someone else's highlight reel. Your story is unique, and if you remain committed, consistent, and patient, your time will come, because truthfully, the only people who never reach greatness are the ones who gave up before time had the chance to work its magic. Remember, greatness is not rushed. It is revealed, moment by moment, choice by choice, day by day. And for those who trust the process, time becomes not an enemy, but an ally. There is a silent enemy that steals more dreams than failure ever could. It doesn't scream, it doesn't strike suddenly. It creeps in quietly, through frustration, through doubt, through the illusion that things aren't happening fast enough. That enemy is impatience, and it has destroyed more potential than any obstacle in history. You see, most people never truly fail because they lack talent or vision. They fail because they gave up too soon. They walked away when the finish line was just around the corner. Why? Because the rewards didn't come fast enough. The applause didn't arrive on time. The world didn't respond as quickly as their desire. In truth, impatience is a form of fear. The fear that you're not good enough. The fear that you're wasting your time. The fear that you'll never get there. But that fear blinds you from what's really happening. Growth beneath the surface. Think of a bamboo tree. You water it for years, sometimes 5, without seeing a single inch above ground. Most people would quit. They'd say, "This isn't working." But those who stay the course, those who trust the unseen process, eventually witness an explosion of growth. That bamboo doesn't just rise, it shoots up feet in mere weeks. Why? Because its foundation was forming underground. Dreams are no different. Impatience forces people to uproot their seeds before they sprout. It whispers, "You're wasting your time," when in reality you're inches away from your breakthrough. And the saddest part, most people quit just before their moment arrives. When you give in to impatience, you abandon the process. You rob yourself of the transformation that occurs when you stay steady under pressure. You trade long-term success for short-term relief, and the cost is high. Now contrast that with patience. Patience is not sitting idle. It's staying engaged without demanding instant results. It's building your craft while the world sleeps. It's trusting that every late night, every sacrifice, every step forward is adding up, even if you can't see it yet. Impatience is fueled by ego. It says, "I deserve this now." Patience is fueled by purpose. It says, "I'm becoming the kind of person who deserves this eventually." Think of the gold miner who stops digging 3 feet before striking the richest vein. That story is not fiction. It is a metaphor for millions of lives. They had the dream, they had the skill, but they lacked the endurance to keep going. Don't let that be your story. If you quit because of impatience, you'll never know how close you were. But if you stay grounded, if you remain calm, consistent, and committed, you will find what so many others lost, the reward that belongs only to those who endure. Remember this: impatience may feel like urgency, but it is actually sabotage in disguise. Master patience, and your dream won't just survive, it will thrive. Many people misunderstand patience. They see it as inaction, as idleness, as the act of doing nothing while time slips away. They believe patience is for the weak, for the lazy, for those afraid to take risks. But let me tell you the truth, one that few understand. Patience is not passive. It is active, intentional, and powerful. To be patient is not to sit still and hope. It is to work in silence, with purpose, while the results unfold in due time. Patience is not waiting for the storm to pass, it's learning to dance in the rain. It is the quiet grind behind the scenes, the late nights with no applause, the resilience to continue even when no one is watching. Passive waiting is hoping the world changes for you. Active patience is changing yourself while you wait. It is growing, improving, and preparing for the opportunity you believe is coming. Picture a sculptor chiseling away at stone. Day after day, the shape looks the same to the outside world, but the sculptor sees progress others cannot. He does not rush. He does not complain. He applies his craft with patience and precision, knowing that in time the masterpiece will reveal itself. This is the essence of active patience. It is the mindset of those who trust the process but refuse to stop working. It is what separates the dreamers from the achievers. Inaction leads to regret, but active patience leads to results. Not always today, not always tomorrow, but always eventually. The most successful people don't just wait, they wait wisely. They don't stop moving. They refine their skills, they deepen their knowledge, they strengthen their mindset. They do not expect success to knock on their door uninvited. They build the house so success has a door to knock on. Remember, seeds don't grow simply because you planted them. They grow because you nurture them, water them, protect them, give them sunlight. That's not passivity, that's preparation. Too many people confuse stillness with weakness, when in truth, stillness often requires the greatest strength. Anyone can act impulsively, anyone can run in circles, but it takes a warrior to wait with purpose, to trust their steps, and to believe without seeing. So the next time you think patience means sitting and doing nothing, ask yourself, am I preparing while I wait? Am I improving? Am I moving in silence toward my vision? If the answer is yes, then you are not wasting time. You are investing it. You are in the sacred space where transformation occurs. Patience is a strategy, not a surrender. It is the space where champions are forged, far from the spotlight, while the world thinks they're standing still. And when their moment comes, they are ready. There is a reason some people can wait for years, endure countless setbacks, and still keep going, while others quit at the first sign of resistance. That reason is not talent. It is not luck. It is not even discipline. That reason is purpose. Purpose is the fire that burns within, even when the world outside goes cold. It is the why behind your what, the deep, unshakable reason that pulls you forward when life tries to push you back. Without purpose, patience becomes unbearable, but with purpose, patience becomes unbreakable. You see, when your reason for waiting is vague, your endurance will be weak. But when your purpose is clear, when it is rooted deep in your heart, then you can outlast the storms, the silence, the slow seasons, because you're not just waiting, you're waiting for something that matters. Every great inventor, entrepreneur, artist, and leader who shaped history had this in common: a deep sense of purpose. That purpose gave them the emotional fuel to keep moving, even when the results weren't immediate. They weren't just chasing fame, money, or attention. They were driven by something higher, something that lived in their soul. Think of Thomas Edison, who conducted over 1,000 experiments before inventing the light bulb. Do you think he could have done that without purpose? Never. He had a vision to light the world, and that vision gave him the patience to persevere through failure after failure. Napoleon Hill said, "Definiteness of purpose is the starting point of all achievement." And I would add, it is also the sustaining force behind all endurance. Purpose gives your patience direction. It makes the wait meaningful. It transforms delay into development. It shifts your mindset from "why is this taking so long?" to "I'm growing into who I need to be for what I've asked for." When your patience is connected to your purpose, you no longer suffer through time. You build through it. You realize that the wait is not punishment. It is preparation. Most people give up not because the goal was too far, but because the purpose wasn't strong enough. A shallow goal won't survive a long delay, but a deep, meaningful purpose can carry you across years. Ask yourself, why did you start? Why do you want what you want? What is the bigger vision that your dream serves? If you can answer those questions with clarity and conviction, then patience will no longer feel like a burden. It will feel like a strategy. And here's the truth: the universe does not delay without reason. Often, the wait is the very thing that strengthens your foundation. Purpose gives you the wisdom to see time not as a thief, but as a teacher. So anchor your heart in purpose, and you'll discover a power far stronger than pressure. Because when you know why you're waiting, you'll never quit while waiting. Patience is much more than a virtue. It is a powerful tool that transforms how you think, how you respond, and ultimately, how you succeed. When you develop true patience, you don't just wait for things to happen. You change the very way you see the world. Most people view delays and obstacles as problems. They become frustrated, anxious, and sometimes defeated. But patience rewires your mind to see these moments differently. It teaches you that what appears as a setback is often a setup, a necessary part of your growth and preparation. When patience enters your mindset, failure becomes feedback, not a final destination. You begin to understand that every no, every delay, every challenge is information guiding you to adjust your approach, strengthen your skills, and prepare you for the next level. Instead of fearing obstacles, you welcome them as essential teachers. This transformation is not easy. It requires discipline and perspective, but once you adopt patience as a mindset, your entire life changes. Consider the difference between urgency and patience. Urgency fuels anxiety. It pushes you to rush, to panic, to make decisions based on fear. Patience, on the other hand, brings calm and clarity. It allows you to pause, to think strategically, and to act with confidence. When you are patient, you train your mind to resist impulsive reactions. You learn to delay gratification, choosing long-term success over short-term pleasure. This shift is what separates the ordinary from the extraordinary. Napoleon Hill often emphasized that your mind is your most valuable asset. And patience is one of the greatest gifts you can give it. By practicing patience, you reduce stress, increase focus, and open yourself to creative solutions that would otherwise be overlooked in haste. Moreover, patience helps you develop resilience. It builds emotional strength so that you don't crumble under pressure. When delays come, and they will, you are ready to face them with steady resolve. Your mindset becomes unshakable because it is anchored in trust, purpose, and perseverance. Patience also deepens your gratitude. When you stop rushing and learn to appreciate the process, you notice small victories along the way. These moments of progress fuel your motivation and make the journey itself rewarding. Ultimately, patience transforms your mindset from one of scarcity to one of abundance. Instead of fearing that time is against you, you embrace time as your ally. You recognize that growth cannot be hurried, and that great things take time to develop. So, cultivate patience not just as a habit, but as a fundamental way of thinking. Let it reshape your perceptions, your reactions, and your attitude toward success. Because when patience transforms your mindset, you are no longer controlled by circumstances. You become the master of your destiny, calm, focused, and unstoppable. Remember, this patience is not just waiting, it is a force. It is the quiet strength that turns dreams into reality. When you learn to master patience, you master yourself. You transform your mindset, sustain your purpose, and unlock a power deeper than any quick fix or instant reward. Patience is the bridge between desire and achievement. It teaches you that greatness cannot be rushed, and that the most valuable things in life take time to build. Every moment of waiting is an opportunity to grow, prepare, and move closer to your vision. So, when challenges arise and the road feels long, remind yourself, patience changes everything. It turns obstacles into stepping stones, delays into preparation, and frustration into faith. Those who embrace patience will not only reach their goals, they will surpass them. Be patient, be persistent, trust the process, and watch how your life transforms in ways you never imagined. Because in the end, patience is the secret ingredient to true success.